Perfect. 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 The Philadelphia 76ers finish off the Washington Wizards yet again in dominating fashion here in Game 5 by a final score of 129-112. The Sixers complete the gentleman's sweep and now advance to the second round to go up against Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks. And all we can do at this point is hope and pray that our main man, Joel Embiid, is going to be all right. What is going on, everybody? RB here. Welcome back to Philly Take with RB. You know what to do. Smash the like, hit the subscribe, and hit that notification bell. That way you're always notified when I upload or go live. We've been covering the entire Sixers playoffs here on the channel and will continue to do so. You can expect the Sixers-Hawks preview coming within the coming days, and we'll be live for every game and doing these post-game recaps. But first and foremost, I want to sit here and finish off the Washington Wizards officially, just like we did last night, with a wave off of Russell Westbrook, the one and only, man. You know, I got respect for Russell Westbrook and what he does individually, even though I said it doesn't translate to winning games, and that's exactly why I picked the Sixers to win this in 5 games. Now, a little bit different here. I didn't expect Joel to get hurt, but I did pick the Sixers in 5. So shout out to the Sixers in 5 crew who picked this team to win in 5 games, and rest in peace to the Sixers in 7 crew, or the Wizards in 7 crew. But yeah, goodbye, Russell Westbrook. I got respect for Bradley Beal as well. Straight baller. The Wizards just didn't have enough, and, you know, the Sixers are just a better team. Even without Joel Embiid, we get it done. And, you know, all the years, all the games where Russell's John and we're John and Joel and Russell wants to wave us off and all the things, man. This is the moment we've been waiting for, man. It feels so good. Goodbye, Russ. Goodbye. Goodbye and good riddance. With that being said, the Sixers move on to the second round, and we expected this to happen, and we're looking forward. Now, last night, Bradley Beal said, you know, he believes in his heart that the Wizards could have took us to 7 games. Yeah, okay. I'll respond by saying the same thing I said on my response tweet last night. I pray that you can go somewhere and take your talents. I strongly believe you should go somewhere where you can win, because DC is not doing that for you. But anyway, looking forward, man. The Philadelphia 76ers need Joel Embiid. Now, we've talked about this multiple times. Once again, I'm not a Twitter doctor. I'm going to wait for the news to come out, because there's been a lot of positive signs and a lot of negative signs. There's not really much we can say more on it right now. It could be a slight tear, like they said, it's a slight lateral meniscus tear in his right knee. So it could be something very light where he could try to go and play through it depending on the pain, and we can hope that he doesn't re-aggravate it. And that's honestly what I think is going to happen. I do think he's going to play, because I saw him out there before the game yesterday shooting around. He looked fine. So hopefully Joel is able to come back. It's just how he can manage and tolerate that. And, you know, is it going to affect his game at all? That's the main thing for me. But on the other hand, you know, it could end up being bad. So I don't know. I don't want to assume anything. We're just going to have to wait and see. And of course, we'll be updating it here on the channel. But in spite of Joel Embiid, this Sixers team came out and they get the job done yet again. This was actually the most points by a team in a first round 5-game series ever. So the Sixers came out and dominated yet again, almost another 130-point performance. Now, the Sixers came out lethargic. They didn't look good. They looked all over the place, right? Ben Simmons at center. I want to give props to Doc Rivers first and foremost, because we were hard on him after last game. We were. And then, you know, in addition, his comments were just terrible. And overall, besides last game, Doc had a great series, and he capped it off with a beautiful coaching performance, great substitutions, great way to start the game with Ben Simmons at center. We saw that earlier this year. I thought we should have experimented with it more, and Ben Simmons came in. And now, I didn't know if we were going to run this kind of 4-out offense like the Bucks usually do, or have Ben down low. It was more of the fast-paced offense, but I did like our pace last night, especially in the first quarter. We just couldn't hit the open looks that we were creating, and the Sixers didn't really show that energy until the second and, most importantly, the third quarter. And when we did, we just did not look back, and the Wizards just had no chance for us. The Sixers dominated this game once they got going. We will start with Seth Curry, because anytime Seth Curry puts up 30 points, 10 for 17 from the field, 3 for 6 from deep, 7 for 7 from the line, you got to talk about it. This wasn't Steph Curry with the 30. This was Seth Curry, and we needed him to have a huge game, and he did. And there's actually a funny story where Seth Curry in his post-game presser said that him and Ben Simmons were playing Warzone together, and Ben Simmons told him, like, yo, I need you to give me 30 and I'll give you a triple-double. And that's exactly what happened. Curry came out on fire, doing his thing, finding his spots, letting the trigger go, and that's what I want to see. I don't want to see any hesitation from Seth Curry. He's going to have to continue to be huge for this team, and he was definitely big last night. 30 points out of Seth Curry. That's just a key for this team to just excelling in so many different ways. In addition to Seth Curry, Tobias Harris, 28 points in this, 9 for 17 from the field, 8 for 10 from the line, and 9 rebounds and 6 assists, along with 3 steals and a block for Tobias. Great game for Tobias. I knew he would come and rebound, and the game just came easy to Tobias. There was nothing they could do for Tobias Harris. Ben Simmons came out very slow to start. I didn't like his aggression in the first half, but man, did he come flying. He woke up. He was screaming at the crowd. He was diving for balls. He was just going off, man. And I love that mentality. And if we see this mentality that we saw from Ben in the second half, like, that's all we can ask for. Overall, he had a great series. 19 points last night, 7 for 11 from the field, 5 for 8 from the line. He was out there shooting free throws at 3:45 p.m. Well, it looks like he put in some work, because that's exactly what we needed. Look, the aggression, I've been happy for the series with his aggression for the most part. But the free throw shooting has to get better. It has to continue to get better. This can't just be one game, though. And I still would like to see more here. I would like to see that at 7 for 8, but I'll take 5 for 8. They went to Hack-a-Simmons in the second quarter. I'm like, come on, Scott Brooks, really? In the second quarter? And they didn't end up going back to it because Ben was actually making his free throws, and teams are going to challenge him again. So we're going to have to see, how it goes and what happens. But 10 rebounds and 11 assists. Ben Simmons with the triple-double, 2 blocks and a steal. He did his thing, man, and he woke up big time, and he was a huge part of why we succeeded in the second half. And I just loved his mentality. I loved it going forward. It took him a little while maybe to get accustomed to playing the 5, but I liked us going small there, and I liked the pace of this team. The energy ramped up, and another reason why the energy ramped up is because of Tyrese Maxey. 26 minutes, 13 points, 6 for 14 from the field, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. And I know it doesn't look like he had the best game, but let me tell you, this team's energy did not ignite until Tyrese Maxey came in this ballgame in the second. I like how Doc wrote him out. Now, I did think he could have subbed him in a little bit earlier in the third, but Tyrese Maxey, when he came in, he provided an instant spark, whether it's an alley-oop, whether it's driving to the basket. And moreover, what I'm really liking from Tyrese Maxey is that, whether he's driving to the basket or finding his own shot, that was the big mark. And a lot of people said that I hated on the draft pick. I didn't like it more. Tyrese Maxey was on my draft board. He just wasn't at the top because I wanted shooting. And if you watched my entire draft night reaction, I was happy later on in the night when we traded for Seth Curry because we brought in another shooter. But I'll be honest, this is where I was wrong. I did not expect Tyrese Maxey to be ready this early. I didn't expect his shot to develop this much this early. Doc Rivers last night said Tyrese was the worst defender on the team and that he's improved amazingly in the last month. I did not expect it this quick. And when I look at Tyrese and when he comes in this game, the main difference I see from a guy like Shake, the reason why I said before this series that I would rock with Tyrese other than being hot, is that he has this, man. He's got this stone cold killer look. Like, there's no moment too big for him. When he comes in this game, he instantly takes the ball in his hands. It's great to have, a ball creator who can actually handle the ball in the half court. But Tyrese Maxey, man, he just looks ready for any moment. He's like, yo, Doc, why didn't you give me more minutes during this season, man? Tyrese is ready for it. I think he's going to be really, really good in a couple years, but he's already contributing now. And this is exactly what we need off the bench, man. Tyrese Maxey's been great. Another guy I thought that who was great was Dwight Howard. His presence was felt immediately because our interior defense struggled, and we expected that without Joel Embiid because Ben Simmons really isn't, an interior defender that much, as a center, just not how he plays. But Dwight Howard, even though he only went 2 for 2 from the field, he had 12 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 blocks, and he went to the line. He continued to attack down low. That's what we were lacking in the first quarter. And that presence in the paint was just felt for the rest of the game when Dwight Howard came in, continued to go to the line, and he knocked down 8 for 10 at the line, and that's exactly what we need. Dwight is going to have to be huge. He's a veteran. He knows that. You know, pending whatever happens with Joel Embiid, Dwight's going to have to be huge, and I just love the guy's energy, and I thought he had one of maybe his best game of the series. Dwight Howard played really well. We saw a little bit of Mike Scott. We saw the cleanup crew, Tucker, Reed, Isaiah Joe, and the rest was history, man. George Hill did what he had to do. Not a great game, but just, you know, average. Other than that, we shut everybody down. Ish Smith, Hookmaster Lopez, Bradley Beal went 10 for 23 with 32. Westbrook with 24, 8 and 10, but again, 7 for 20 from the field. It wasn't that efficient. So overall, the Sixers did what they had to do. They ended up out rebounding, out assisting. They just dominated the Wizards in every category, even though we were lacking at halftime. And other than that, now we look forward, man. Hawks finished off the Knicks in 5 games. Trey is cold right now. And what I mean is, he's got ice in his veins right now. Trey's on a mission to prove someone wrong. And, you know, a lot of people, just my first instant thoughts, they think this is going to be an easy series. I don't know. It depends if Joel's healthy. Without Joel Embiid, we might struggle against the Atlanta Hawks. But if Embiid's in, I go back to the couple games we played. We actually played the Hawks better with their starters, and we absolutely shut them down. I think we beat them by a combined 70, 80 points during the games. And a couple of the games we weren't healthy, they weren't healthy. But the game where we were all healthy, we absolutely dominated the Hawks. I think we have the right perimeter defenders to throw at a guy like Trae Young. And, you know, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be really interesting. But overall, I think the Sixers have a good shot here, but Joel has to be healthy. That's really what everything here hinges on, right? We can get past the second round. We can get to the third round. But is Joel going to be healthy? Is he going to be able to play day in and day out? Is he going to have that pain? Are we going to have to hold our breath every time we see a certain cut, turn, twist, dunk, whatever? I mean, we just have to take it day by day. And we handled our business. That's what we've continued to do. Everybody, even more than before, has written us off now. So we just got to keep on pushing. And like I said, we got to hope Joel Embiid is ready to rock and roll. Great adjustments by Doc. Overall, a great series outside of that one game. Great series by Ben, Tobias, Joel, and everybody else stepped up. Danny Green and Seth Curry, they didn't have to be great this series. They might have to next series. And we're going to continue to need that bench spark from guys like Tyrese Maxey. That's pretty much all I got. Let me know your thoughts down below. How do you feel about the next series coming up? What do you guys think about Joel? Give me all your thoughts. Appreciate you for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll have our preview up soon, and we'll be covering it all, man. Have a good day. Peace.
Perfect.